Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. One of my subscribers has asked me to teach you basic knitting. This is basic. Okay, I have here about a size, I would say 5 yarn, and these are size 6mm American needles. To start any knitting or crochet project, you're going to have to do a slip knot. Now I do my slip knots. I'll put the light on. Is the light on? Okay. I take the short end here, put it over, then the long end I'm going to tuck through and just grasp that piece that you tuck through. That's it. I'm going to do that one more time. Here's your short end. I'm going to put it over. Take the long end that's attached to your ball of string. Just tuck it right through that hole. And grab it. And that's your basic slip knot. You're going to put your needle through there. Tug on the long piece and it will tighten up. Then you have to cast on as many stitches as you're going to need. I do not suggest starting with a blanket if you're new to knitting. I suggest just practicing with the slip knot until you get that down. Then practice with your casting on your stitches until you get that down. Then practice knitting a few rows until you are comfortable with that. Then start your project. I suggest starting with something simple like a scarf. To knit a simple scarf, you want this size yarn. I would cast on about 25 stitches and then just keep knitting until you get the length scarf you want. Most adult scarves are about 60 inches long. So anyway, to cast on, there's so many different cast-ons. This is your tail, the short piece, that's your tail. We're going to never mind the tail. We just ignore it. We don't knit with it. We keep it back here. We pretend it's not there for now. To cast on, I simply grasp my yarn, then I take my finger and I kind of do this, and I make like a gun. So it's around my thumb and my finger like a gun. Then I simply go, wait a minute. I take this and then just let go. Around my thumb, put my finger out, take the yarn that's on my thumb, and just let go. Around my thumb, put out my finger, go right through here, and just let go. Okay? On my thumb, my finger, and just let go. I'm going to cast on about 10 stitches. Okay? There are different cast-on methods. Maybe somebody else might have one that is a little simpler for you or better for you to understand. That's just the way I was taught. Go around my thumb and then just right like that and then let go. Okay, now to start your stitches. The first row can be a little slippery. Just keep practicing this until you get it right. This is the needle. I'm a right-handed person, so I'm going to put my knitting in my left hand and my empty needle in my right. This is going to be my working needle in my right hand. This just holds your work. You're going to take this right-handed empty needle, put it through the back. See how it's in just the back of that needle. Then you take your yarn and you go up and around and under that needle. And what you're going to do is grab that and just pull it up and off. That's your first stitch. Do it again through the back. Take your yarn, pull it through, up and off. Daisy, not a good time. Sorry, my cat just jumped right on my lap. Okay, take this yarn, go around, up and off the needle. Make sure you're in back, because if you go in front, that's a whole different stitch. That's the purl stitch. Go around, slide it off. Now this first one can be a little tricky, a little slippery. Keep your stitches sort of towards the tip of the needle, but not too close that they're going to slide off. Just keep going through the back, around, push that needle through, and then take the stitch off. And that's all there is to it. Now, when you're done your row, this last one's a little tricky because that's your slip knot. Okay, now, this is your first row of stitches. Straighten it out a little bit. See, it should look like that. Now you're going to switch. You're going to put this one over in your left hand. Now this is right-handed stitching, knitting. Now you're going to pick up the empty one with your right hand and just do it all over again. We're going to take that tail, tuck it away, go through the back, this yarn around, and pick it up, slide it off. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. But this is the basic knit stitch. And if you've never knitted before, please keep practicing your slip knot, your cast on, and this basic knit stitch before you attempt any projects. It takes a long time to learn how to make a blanket or something. I would suggest starting with a little doily, a dishcloth, or a child's scarf or something. Now you switch hands again and just keep on going. And pretty soon, now these are my bamboo needles, which are not my favorite because they're not real sharp, but they're okay for thicker yarn. I don't care for them for the thinner yarns. I have all sizes, but they're just not as sharp as the stainless steel needles, so they're not my favorite. But some yarns are kind of stick more than others, so some are smoother on the stainless steel and some are smoother with the bamboo. And you just keep on doing the same thing. And when you get good enough, you can start doing purl stitches. You can do stockinette. You can learn how to follow patterns, which is where I'm kind of stuck in my progress of learning. I'm still learning the abbreviations and how to follow a pattern and all that. I can make slippers, hats, scarves, blankets, dishcloths, doilies, pot holders, but that's about it. I can't make sweaters or anything like that. And that's how your work should look. And that's just a basic, simple beginning. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much.